Hi, I'm Jesse Brandeis.
Hi, I'm Alicia Brandeis.
And we're the parents of Blast Brandeis.
My name is Bert Defoe. I have a 4-year-old daughter who has been at CCC for 2 years now.
My name is Laura, and this is
Emily.
And we are part of the families at Cradlerock Children's Center. Emily is one of our 3 children in our family and started here when she was just 4 months old. We have my son who is already graduated from Cradlerock and my daughter who also started here when she was 4 months. That's Emily's little sister.
So how we heard about CCC, well, she did most of the work. You can talk.
Yeah, so we started with research at the beginning of this year when the whole pandemic started. So most of our research was online. We looked for centers in our area in Howard County. I sent several emails to several centers. Some of them get back to me with very limited information, but I remember finding Cradlerock Children's Center website where I found all the information that I needed about the staff, the kids' schedule, what kind of measurements they were taking to meet the CDC guidelines and make sure the kids were safe and minimize the risk of get COVID-19. That was very important, and it's still very important right now. Also, we by having all the information on the website, all I had to do was just contact the director, Miss Amanda, and she got back to me very fast and proposed scheduling a virtual tour, which we went ahead. Once we were through, we were having the virtual tour, we immediately fell in love with the center because we saw so much diverse on activities and how the kids, just the layout of the classroom was great because everything was to reach to the kids, which in our view that foster independence to the kid, make sure that they get that free time.
The way we came across CCC, we did a Google search. When the time came for us, we made the decision for our daughter to go to a childcare center. We found CCC as well as a few other centers in the area. We began to evaluate and interview with the directors at various programs, and when it was all said and done, we really enjoyed the time that we had spent at CCC, meeting with the director at CCC, Miss Amanda, as well as watching the classroom that we had visited that our daughter was going to be in, and watching the way the instructors interacted with the children, as well as the way the children interacted with each other and the way the instructors were training them to interact with each other. And that was very important for us. The social and emotional development of a child, at least with respect to our household, that is a critical component of growth and development. And we really, really enjoyed the community, the sense of community that was being built within the classroom that we had the opportunity to observe.
We learned about Cradlerock through a combination of things. One, they're in our community, so we saw them and families coming here all the time. Another way we learned about this is one of our neighbors who was another Cradlerock family highly recommended that we check out the center when we had our son. And so we came over to visit, and we really just loved what the center was and what it represented. And so, when we started looking at centers, it's not just about whether or not they have a lot of space or our big center, but this is a center that really focuses on the families that they have, big or small. They always seem to accommodate and adjust according to the needs of the families and the kids who are part of their community. So we've been here now 8 years. We consider ourselves lifers at this point in time. So we really think it speaks to the caliber of the Cradlerock Children's Center community, the staff, the teachers, and the families that are here.
One of the really neat things, granted this is the only preschool we've been to, but it's really nice that we get updates constantly. All the different meals Blast eats, right? That's important to us because when I'm cooking dinner, I want to know, okay, what did he have today at school so I don't overlap the food. Like if he had fish sticks, I don't want to give him fish sticks again. Another thing that is really nice is, all the special notes and any special updates for Blast, pictures, videos. It's been great because, just adds to our collections. I can, share it with his grandparents. Things to see, like how he is interacting with all the kids, in real time. Just seeing him playing and learning, it's great. And we actually, there's things where the center watches Blast, and if to be honest, he had a small behavior that was showing up, and they met with us and we worked together. How do we tackle this? How do we tackle this at home? How do we tackle here? Make sure we're all on the same page and we're all doing this in the best interest of my son. And that was very important. That was very nice. Everyone was supportive and helpful. We had separate conferences about it, and it was great. We learned a lot too, because as first, this is our first child. Your first time parent is things that you don't know everything, and all this information is helpful.
To add on that, I just want to also talk about how teachers have been such a great partners to make sure our son reaches his goal in terms of communication and speech. My son needs a little bit of help in that area, and when I communicated to the teacher, there was no hesitation. They wanted to act immediately and partner with us to make sure that he gets the same attention at home and in school, so he can reach his goals on communication, speech, and articulation. And I can tell you, Blast has grown tremendously. He comes home telling us events about the school, and we look at each other and like, did you hear that? Did he just say that whole sentence? Which many times he will say silly things that we love those things, and we encourage him to tell us more, and he surprises every day. And even worse than I'm like, did he just say that? And
more you than me. We already knew
he is. I'm very proud of him, and I cannot be happier that we chose this center.
Since our daughter has been here, we've seen so much growth. The obvious growth with her going from a 2-year-old to a 4-year-old, but that growth has been nurtured and developed here. Has really brought her out of her shell. She seems to be a shy child, but there's a level of trust and confidence that I see in her, her confidence within herself growing, and the trust that she has with her instructors as well as her peers, and those interactions. Watching those interactions, watching her on the playground with her classmates, it's been a real delight to see that.
I think as a parent, when you first start exploring for centers, you get kind of stuck on the logistics, right? How close is the center? How much does it cost? What are all the rules and regulations? And it's a really unique experience when you can put all of those worries aside and know that when you come to a place like Cradlerock Children's Center, first and foremost, they put the kids and the families first. And next to that, they are focused on building a community that will just really foster and nurture the development of the children, which means that they put their staff and the quality of the resources second, and at an amazing caliber. I think for every new parent or parent first bringing their kids to preschool or even trying that first time away from home, they really want to be sure that their kids are not just safe, but are really just thriving. And that is what Cradlerock Children's Center does. They bring a caliber and quality of staff and learning to each one of the students that are here to ensure that they're not just having fun, but they're also thriving and growing in their own special way. Emily, how did you feel every day when you got to school?
I had fun playing with my friends because we played games and it made me feel happy, and it filled my heart with love because they kept playing with me and it made me happy.
I believe that. And do you remember, were there any special activities that you used to do with your friends?
We used to play with the kitchen and we played Mr. Fox upstairs.
And did you do any special science experiments? Did you ever do anything silly in the classroom?
We sometimes pretend we put some of the blocks over there to the bottles in it. We pretend it was ice pops.
Whoa, that's pretty amazing.
One of the things that I appreciate about CCC is the partnership that we have built between our family and the center. When I bring my daughter here, I know that she's safe. I know that she's cared for. I enjoy the communication. The level of communication between the center and our house has been fantastic. The daily updates we get throughout the course of the day, as well as at the end of the day, and just as well as the communication my daughter has when she comes home, and the excitement and her talking about her day and what she's done and those things. I appreciate that there's this open door policy, that they allow the parents, they can come in and they can spend time with the children's class. And I get to see my daughter grow, but I also get to know her friends. And so when she's telling me stories about a particular friend, I have a face, I have a personality to match, and to realize, she's growing, she's evolving, she's building these friendships, she's learning through these experiences. The communication with the instructors is also fantastic. Every day getting those daily updates. Very important, keeping me in tune with what's going on, what I can focus on at home to reinforce what she has going on at school. And then vice versa, I can tell them about things we're doing at home that they reinforce at school. And so she hears consistent messaging to really imprint those values that we're trying to instill upon her. We've been so happy with how she's grown over the past couple of years. We have another little one now who we are preparing and getting her ready to come to CCC as well. And I think that's one of the greatest things, one of the greatest testimonials that someone can have, is to say, I'm going to send another one of my kids here. As well as I've also told many of my neighbors about CCC, extolling the virtues of CCC, and just, really how much they have done for us in terms of helping us with our children, or our child, and soon to be second child, and trying to get some of our parents here. And we've had a couple folks swing by and have been really impressed with CCC, so that's been